Hey, family, you know what it is. It's Sebastian Sanders. This is Money Mondays. Today, I just want to talk about a huge development that we have going with our Sanders Hand Ghana team. First and foremost, thank each and every one of you for the continued support of all of our youth in our programs. For our chapters in San Antonio, Texas, Houston, Texas, Oklahoma City, Ghana, Africa, right? We went international, right? It's just amazing to see all of the support that you guys do for us. It never goes unnoticed. Thank you so much for doing what you do. But today I just want to talk about what we're doing in Ghana. What we're doing in Ghana is we're bridging the gap that you're going to see with technology and education. The pandemic did a few things, right? It highlighted education and the gap that we have, but it also brought a lot of attention into what the future of education is going to look like. The future of education, especially in our minority households and our minority communities, African Americans, Hispanics, things of that nature, what we're noticing is our kids are behind because of technology. And when I say technology, I'm not saying technology is doing bad for our kids. They just don't have. There's a lack of resources. You go to your local communities and you go to your local community centers, you may not see the most up-to-date computers, the most up-to-date laptops. You may not see those resources for our kids. And the thing about it is, coming from those communities, how do we expect to push our kids out into this world when we didn't set them up for success by not providing them with the resources that they need? That's where we come in as an organization saying, hey, you know, there's a young boy, there's a young girl in that classroom who's probably going to be the next digital creator, and they're going to create an amazing brand and be one of the biggest builder of art or whatever it's going to be in the world, but they don't have the resources. Guys, the saddest thing in this world is wasted talent. And the most saddest thing for me in working with our students is I don't like to see our kids go without. And so what we're doing in Ghana is we're figuring out ways to bridge that. You know, if you think about, you know, Africa is a continent, it's a country of just rich resources, rich history, rich tradition. But it has its pockets of poverty just like we have here in the United States. And so what we want to do is, you know, I met some amazing people, some amazing investors in Ghana, and I just said, hey man, how can we make this happen? And we did it. You know, we signed a lease and we got a building and they built it up. And what we're doing is we're putting in computers. We're going to be teaching Microsoft classes. We're going to be teaching digital coding. You know, the future of education is going to be in technology. So we're going to teach our students all of that. So they're going to have a curriculum that's going to be a week by week curriculum. It's essentially going to be like a library card, right? You sign up, you can go to the computer lab every time. We're going to have some books in there for you, some books coming from the United States, some books coming from some Ghana authors. We're working with a lot of different Ghana organizations, some women's organizations, a few restaurants in the Ghana area. We're bringing in so much community support because this is a problem that we extremely want to address. The thing about this is that's very important, and that's also very exciting. We're going to put these students in settings that they've never been before. You know, I was Zooming with our Sanders Hand Ghana Spelling Bee winners, and it was amazing that our director out there, he went to their homes personally to let them, you know, view on the laptop. And I was like, wow, like if we could just help our kids there understand technology and bridge that gap, we're going to start to see the economy flow and the economy change. Because what that means is you're putting in another country, you're giving them some resource that they've never seen before. You're giving those kids, it's like going to the store and you telling me as a kid, go in there and get all the candy you want. I'm going to go crazy, right? You tell me to go in there and get some sour Skittles, I'm going to come out there with 10 bags of sour Skittles as a kid, right? And so it's the same thing we're doing with our kids in Ghana. We're giving them an opportunity to be you, be creative, be dope, be the person that you always wanted to be. And so, man, it's very exciting what we're doing with our students. And I just want your attention. I just want your support on this, guys. It's extremely important that we come together as leaders, as investors, as developers, whoever we are, come together and let's bridge this gap. And not only that we're bridging the gap, we're doing the same thing here in the States. And so we're right now, we're in the talks. We've been surveying some land. We're going to do the same thing here in the United States. So we're going to start off in Houston, Texas. We're going to go to San Antonio, Texas. And then it could, you know, eventually expand, right? And so we're going to bridge that technology gap. But, you know, back to the topic, the pandemic highlighted that we can do virtual learning. We can. But we also need to provide our kids with more resources. Think about it. If you out and about, maybe you're at an airport, you're at a restaurant, you see kids with laptops, you see kids with cell phones. It may not necessarily be their own, but their parents may say, hey, you can use this. A lot of kids are learning straight from the internet. And as educators, as leaders, we got to get ahead of that curve. We got to say, hey, they're on the internet. There's nothing wrong with that. The world is evolving, right? Everything is not always going to be in the textbook. Me personally, I don't even like textbooks, and I ain't been to school in years, but I know our kids don't even like textbooks. So what do we do? How do we stay ahead? Guys, we got to figure out how do we stay ahead. And the way we stay ahead is we have to stay up to date with innovation. It's simple. We have to stay up to date with innovation. And so what innovation looks like is putting our kids in the settings, right? If you're doing a group project and you're doing a group project on your students, and instead of you giving them an assignment folder, put it on a Google Doc, right? Take your kids to the computer lab. First off, before you even get them a Google Doc, and this is a free game for teachers, before you get your students a Google Doc, I want you to get all your students an email, a Gmail account, right? Every student needs to have a Gmail probably in the 7th or 8th grade. Practice those professional business skills. Get your students registered with Gmail. Once you get them registered with Gmail, get them all on the Google Doc. If you're going to put 5 to 7 people in a group, 5 to 7 need to be registered to a specific Google Doc. Once they get under that Google Doc, that's where, as a teacher, as an instructor, as a leader, you place all of that information, right? You place all the project updates, you place the grades, you place the topics, all the details. That way, when you take your students to the computer lab, where they're not in there playing video games and nothing like that, they're on their Google Docs and they're doing their work. And as you may know, using a Google Doc, anybody can insert information as long as they have access. So that's a free way as a teacher, as a leader, to say, hey, this is how we're going to utilize technology. And in addition to that, you know, as leaders, let's go to our local stores. Let's go to local Walmarts. Let's go to the Targets and talk to a store manager and say, hey, I need you to help me sponsor 50 Google tablets, 50 Android tablets. I need my students to learn how to use these resources, right? There's nothing wrong with asking, right? In order to give, we have to learn sometimes how to ask. And so go to these local leaders, investors. Let's buy our kids these tablets. Every student in a public school setting, I don't care what nobody says, by 2024, every student should go to school and they should have the registered on some type of electronic device. Some schools, districts have already done it. They're already ahead of the curve. Some haven't. Let's figure out a way to get all of our kids a Google Chrome tablet, Google Chrome laptop. They may not necessarily have to take it home, but let's give them that. That way, when they can come to school, they can learn how to practice those professional leader skills online. You can teach them how to build their own PowerPoint. You can teach them students young how to work on Excel. You can teach them how to use a Google Doc, use an email. You can show them how to build a website, build an app, build a flyer. Let's put our kids in those settings and let them be creative. And that's what we're doing with Sanders and Ghana. So I need your help. I need your helping hand. I want your hand. I want to see it. I want to feel your support. I want our kids in Ghana to really say, hey, you know what? What they're doing there for the supporters is amazing. I want them to go out and feel that we're behind them. And that's what we're doing. And so we're set to open doors sometime this summer in 2022. But we need your help. We need your support. You see it, but guys, do you believe? Do you believe in the future of education? I do. Do you? Thank you so much for your help. Sebastian Sanders.